Lucifer. There is one name that echoes through time, a name that stirs fear and fascination in equal measure: Lucifer. Known as the light bringer, the morning star, Lucifer once held a place of unparalleled beauty and power in the celestial realm. But his story is not one of grace. It is a tale of pride, rebellion, and a fall from unimaginable heights. Lucifer, originally created as one of God's most magnificent angels, was said to be adorned with wisdom and beauty. Descriptions from ancient texts, like Ezekiel, paint a picture of an angel whose radiance surpassed all others, a being chosen to guard the throne of God. But as the morning star, Lucifer began to crave more than his celestial position. It was his unchecked pride and ambition that led him down a path of rebellion. In an act of defiance, Lucifer sought to overthrow the very creator he once served. He desired to ascend above God's throne, to make himself equal to the Almighty. This rebellion didn't just shake the heavens, it fractured the divine order. Lucifer, along with his followers, waged a war in the heavens, but the rebellion was crushed. The result was catastrophic. Lucifer was cast down from the heavenly realm, condemned to eternal exile. Lucifer's fall from grace marks him as the archetype of the fallen angel, a being corrupted by pride. He became not just an adversary of God, but the embodiment of sin and evil. His powers, once used for good, were now wielded for destruction. The most powerful of angels became the most notorious of enemies. In his fall, Lucifer took on a new identity: Satan, the accuser, the adversary. His role now was to deceive, to tempt, and to corrupt humanity. From the Garden of Eden, where he took the form of a serpent to lead Eve astray, to his influence over kingdoms and nations, his reach is vast. He tempts humans with pride, rebellion, and the illusion of freedom apart from God. Through him, sin entered the world, and with it, suffering. The symbolism of Lucifer is often tied to rebellion, pride, and the destructive force of unchecked ambition. He is depicted as the angel who refused to serve, instead desiring to be served. In Christian theology, Lucifer's fall serves as a warning of the dangers of pride and the consequences of turning away from the divine. Lucifer's influence continues to reverberate through humanity. Every temptation, every form of evil that seeks to separate humanity from God can be traced back to his rebellion. His legacy is one of eternal struggle, as he continues to challenge the forces of good, seeking to lead more souls astray. But what of his ultimate fate? The Bible speaks of a time when Lucifer's reign will come to an end. His judgment is sealed. He will be cast into the abyss, forever defeated, his power broken. Yet, his role in the spiritual battle remains significant until that final moment. In comparing Lucifer to other fallen beings such as the Watchers or Azazel, it is clear that his impact is unmatched. While others have fallen, Lucifer stands as the greatest example of pride's destructive power. His story a cautionary tale of the danger that lies in seeking to elevate oneself above the Creator. The story of Lucifer is not just a story of an angel's fall. It is a timeless narrative about the consequences of pride, the nature of evil, and the eternal struggle between good and evil. A story that continues to shape our understanding of the spiritual forces at work in the world today. Azazel, the fallen angel who corrupted humanity. In the shadowed corners of biblical and apocryphal texts, the name Azazel looms, a figure shrouded in mystery, power, and malevolent influence. Known as one of the most notorious angels in ancient lore, Azazel's story is one of rebellion, corruption, and lasting consequences for mankind. Azazel's origins trace back to the Book of Enoch, an ancient text not included in the canonical Bible, but still a powerful source of tradition in certain religious circles. He is often portrayed as one of the Watchers, angels sent to watch over humanity. However, Azazel's role would turn far darker. Instead of guiding humanity toward righteousness, Azazel chose to teach them forbidden knowledge, arts and secrets that God had not intended them to possess. From metalworking to warfare, Azazel's influence spread chaos and destruction across the earth. But it wasn't just the secrets he taught. Azazel's fall was a direct challenge to divine authority. His rebellion was marked by his willingness to corrupt God's creation, leading to a cascade of events that would shape the fate of humanity. His teachings incited violence and bloodshed, as humans, armed with knowledge they weren't ready for, began to fight and destroy each other. His defiance of divine will and the turmoil it caused marked him as one of the most dangerous figures in the celestial hierarchy. Azazel's abilities were not just limited to teaching forbidden knowledge. He possessed immense power, capable of bending human will and tempting even the most pure-hearted into sin. His influence spread through the generations, and his corruption led to the creation of the Nephilim, a race of giants born from the union of fallen angels and human women. These beings wreaked havoc upon the earth, and Azazel's role in their creation made him a figure of ultimate evil. In apocryphal traditions, Azazel's legacy is a symbol of temptation and the destruction of divine order. His name became synonymous with sin and corruption, representing the force that leads humanity astray. As the bearer of forbidden knowledge, Azazel embodies the peril of unchecked ambition and rebellion. His actions are not just a warning to humanity but a reminder of the dangers of pride, power, and the consequences of turning away from divine guidance. After his rebellion, Azazel was condemned by God. According to the Book of Enoch, he was bound and cast into the abyss, where he remains imprisoned until the final judgment. This divine punishment serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of defying God's will and spreading corruption. However, Azazel's impact on the world didn't end there. His influence is said to have lingered, especially in occult traditions, where he continues to be invoked as a symbol of power, rebellion, and forbidden knowledge. When comparing Azazel to other fallen angels, his role is distinct. Unlike Lucifer, whose rebellion was rooted in pride and the desire to overthrow God, Azazel's fall was marked by a deliberate attempt to corrupt humanity. His actions brought not only destruction to the heavens but also inflicted irreversible harm on earth, making him a figure of both cosmic and earthly significance. Azazel's legacy remains one of caution. His story is a warning about the dangers of tampering with the divine, of seeking power and knowledge that were never meant to be obtained. His fall from grace serves as a haunting reminder that some forces in the universe are too powerful, too dangerous, to be meddled with, and those who defy this truth will face dire consequences. The Watchers, 1 Enoch. The Watchers, a group of angels whose story is detailed in the apocryphal Book of Enoch, are some of the most notorious beings in biblical and non-biblical traditions. Known by many names, Azazel being the most infamous among them, these angels were originally sent to earth to observe and guide humanity. But their descent into rebellion would bring about consequences that would echo throughout history. In the beginning, the Watchers were beings of great power, created to watch over and teach humanity. But their mission became one of corruption when they were seduced by the beauty of mortal women. Defying God's commands, the Watchers descended to earth, and they took wives, producing offspring known as the Nephilim, giants who wreaked havoc upon the earth. The Watchers, led by Azazel, also imparted forbidden knowledge to humanity, secrets of magic, war, and even the crafting of weapons, which led to violence and chaos among men. The Watchers' fall from grace began when they chose to break divine laws, leading to their corruption. Azazel, in particular, became infamous for teaching the art of warfare, while others taught forbidden knowledge in astrology and the use of cosmetics. Their actions directly contributed to the corruption of humankind, creating a world filled with violence and sin. As a result, their rebellion against the Creator was met with swift divine judgment. In response to their transgressions, God commanded the archangels to imprison the Watchers. They were bound and cast into the abyss, a prison where they would remain until the final judgment. Azazel, the leader, was bound to a rocky gorge, where his fate would be sealed until the end of days. These fallen angels are often associated with dark forces and evil in spiritual and occult traditions. Their symbolism, especially Azazel, often represents rebellion, corruption, and the destructive forces of sin. Their legacy is one of temptation and fallenness, influencing cultures and beliefs throughout history. They embody the dangers of overstepping divine boundaries, as their actions led to the corruption of both humanity and the world itself. The Watcher's story stands as a powerful reminder of the consequences of rebellion against the Creator. Unlike other fallen angels such as Lucifer, who sought to ascend above God, the Watcher's sin was rooted in their desire to defy the divine order and bring chaos to the earth. Their judgment serves as a cautionary tale, warning of the dangers of pride, temptation, and the pursuit of forbidden knowledge. Abaddon, also known as Apollyon, is one of the most feared and infamous figures in religious and apocryphal traditions. His name, meaning destruction or the destroyer in Hebrew, resonates through the pages of Scripture and beyond, as a harbinger of chaos and devastation. Known for his dominion over destruction, Abaddon is not merely a figure of evil, but an embodiment of ultimate ruin. His very presence marks the fall of divine order. Abaddon's origins are steeped in mystery. In the Bible, particularly in the Book of Revelation, he is identified as the King of the Abyss, a leader of the locusts that torment mankind in the end times. His role here is significant. Rising from the bottomless pit, he unleashes hellish plagues upon the earth. Yet, his story stretches further, with some apocryphal texts suggesting a deep connection to the fallen angels and the forces that once rebelled against God. But how did such a powerful entity fall from grace? Abaddon's fall is linked to the same rebellion that caused many angels to turn against God. His pride and desire to rule were part of a greater cosmic war. Once a being of high authority, his corruption led him to be cast down, a prisoner of the abyss. His powers are not of the mortal realm, but rather of pure, unrelenting destruction. Abaddon wields the ability to summon and control demonic legions, often symbolized by locusts in Revelation. These locusts are not just physical creatures. They are agents of spiritual torment, spreading corruption and suffering across humanity. Throughout history, Abaddon's name has been tied to unparalleled atrocities. He is responsible for unleashing suffering upon humanity, whether it's through natural disasters, war, or the corruption of souls. His influence is believed to be found in the darkest corners of human temptation, pulling individuals into sin and despair. In the occult, his name is invoked as a force of annihilation, seeking to consume all in its path. Symbols of Abaddon often depict him as a destroyer, sometimes with the body of a locust or a fierce warrior figure. In both theological and spiritual contexts, he represents the destructive power of sin, chaos, and the evil that seeks to undo creation itself. His image is that of ruin, destroying not just bodies but the souls of those who fall victim to his deceptions. Despite his immense power, Abaddon's fate is sealed. In the end, like all forces of darkness, he will be judged. Revelation speaks of a final battle, where the forces of good will triumph over Abaddon and his demonic legions, casting him into the eternal fire, where he will suffer for his actions. Abaddon stands among the most notorious of fallen angels, his name forever etched in the annals of evil. His destructive nature places him in direct contrast to figures like Lucifer, who sought power, or Azazel, who led humanity astray. Abaddon's legacy, however, is one of pure, unrelenting destruction, making him a figure of ultimate fear and judgment. Belial, a name that has echoed through the centuries, known for its association with wickedness and chaos. In both biblical and apocryphal texts, Belial is not just another fallen angel, but a force of pure corruption, deception, and rebellion. But who is Belial and what makes this angel so infamous? The name Belial is often translated as worthless or without value, a reflection of the essence of the being it describes. However, in the ancient traditions, Belial is known by many other titles. He is called the Prince of Demons, and in certain texts, even the King of the Damned. His origins trace back to early Jewish traditions, where he is portrayed as an angel who strayed far from the divine path. As a figure of disobedience, Belial's fall wasn't just one of arrogance. It was a deliberate defiance against the Creator. His rebellion ignited a legacy of sin, with him becoming a leader of other fallen beings. Belial's role is one of pure malevolence. In the Book of Enoch, he is listed among the angels who led humankind into sin. He is said to be the one who corrupted the hearts of humans, spreading lawlessness and iniquity. It is no surprise that this being, full of pride and hatred, would rebel against divine order. His very name became synonymous with wickedness, as he sought to bring about the destruction of order itself. When it comes to power, Belial's abilities are both subtle and destructive. He thrives in deception, working quietly behind the scenes to sow discord and confusion. He is the one who tempts and whispers lies, luring humans toward wickedness and rebellion, much like the serpent in the Garden of Eden. His influence is seen in moments of human failure, whether through greed, corruption, or violence. These acts of destruction, while often hidden from view, spread like a shadow over humankind, leaving behind devastation in their wake. The atrocities committed by Belial are numerous and varied. He is said to corrupt the soul, spreading evil through the hearts of individuals as well as entire nations. Throughout Scripture and the occult, his name is invoked in acts of dark magic and forbidden rituals. His role in tempting humanity to sin reaches its peak during times of war, crime, and moral decay. He is the patron of rebellion, urging mortals to defy God and revel in their lawlessness. Symbolically, Belial is often represented as an antithesis to purity and goodness. In the Christian tradition, he is frequently depicted as a dark, disheveled angel, or even as a monstrous figure, embodying the ultimate manifestation of evil. His association with darkness, lawlessness, and destruction marks him as a being that thrives in chaos. The influence of Belial has been far-reaching, especially within the realm of spiritual warfare. His temptation leads to destruction, often found at the root of societies that collapse under their own immorality. In occult traditions, Belial is invoked as a deity of destruction, offering power at the cost of one's soul. His legacy is one of moral decay, always lurking, waiting for the right moment to strike. As for his fate, Belial's story does not end in victory. In the end, the angel's role is one of ultimate judgment. Like all fallen angels, he is destined to face divine retribution. The Book of Enoch speaks of his eventual punishment, bound and cast into the abyss with his followers. His rebellious nature, however, is what keeps him in the hearts of those who continue to do evil. When comparing Belial to other notorious angels like Lucifer, it's clear that his role in the cosmic battle between good and evil is just as significant. While Lucifer sought power, Belial's aim was far more insidious. He sought to spread disorder, to corrupt, and to bring humanity to ruin. His dark legacy continues to serve as a reminder of the dangers of pride, temptation, and rebellion against divine authority. Belial stands as a symbol of evil's persistent reach and the consequences of abandoning the path of righteousness. His story is one of destruction, deception, and the eternal struggle between light and darkness. Mestima, one of the most notorious angels in religious and apocryphal texts, is a figure steeped in darkness and rebellion. Known as the accuser or the adversary, Mestima's story unfolds in ancient writings, revealing a complex and malevolent being whose actions have cast a long shadow over both celestial and human realms. Mestima's origins can be traced to the apocryphal Book of Jubilees, where he is introduced as one of the fallen angels. Unlike other angelic beings, Mestima does not follow the traditional path of rebellion due to pride. Instead, his downfall is rooted in his role as a celestial prosecutor, challenging humanity and seeking to lead them astray. He is often depicted as an adversary who not only serves as an instrument of divine punishment but also conspires against God's plan, sowing discord among humans. The angel's role is one of temptation, testing, and leading mankind into sin. While Satan is often portrayed as the ultimate force of evil, Mestima is known for his manipulative ways, leading men into destructive paths and inciting them to commit grievous acts. In the Book of Jubilees, Mestima plays a key part in corrupting humanity, leading the fallen angels to corrupt the earth and prompt the Great Flood. What makes Mestima notorious is his active participation in sowing corruption. Unlike Lucifer, whose rebellion stems from pride, Mestima's motivations lie in a deep-seated desire to corrupt humanity and oppose divine will. As an accuser, Mestima revels in tempting individuals, pushing them toward choices that lead to suffering and chaos. Mestima's abilities are terrifying. He holds power over evil spirits and wields the ability to corrupt even the purest of hearts. His influence is vast, leading countless souls to sin, inflicting chaos, and twisting human free will. Through deception and manipulation, he plays a direct role in the spiritual downfall of many, from influencing the wickedness before the flood to being involved in the torment of Job. The atrocities attributed to Mestima are vast. In one of the most unsettling acts, he is said to have commanded the fallen angels to bind the spirits of giants, the offspring of angels and humans, making sure they could not return to the world. Mestima's impact is most acutely felt in his ability to manipulate human destiny, influencing everything from wars to personal moral collapse. Symbolically, Mestima is often associated with dark forces and the embodiment of evil in a spiritual sense. His role as accuser and adversary places him in direct opposition to divine will, representing not just rebellion, but a calculated war against the purity of creation. In some traditions, he is viewed as a figure who embodies the deepest forms of temptation, pulling humanity away from righteousness. Mestima's influence on humanity is profound. He plays a crucial role in testing the faith and resolve of humans, tempting them into sin, and ensuring that destruction follows. His legacy is seen in the chaotic events and moral failings that have plagued humanity throughout history, wars, betrayals, and corruption, all of which can be traced back to his manipulative hand. In the end, Mestima's fate is not one of redemption but of eternal judgment. In some texts, he is condemned to a punishment akin to that of the fallen angels, eternally bound in the abyss, waiting for the final judgment. His story serves as a warning, showing how even angels can fall when they embrace rebellion over divine purpose. When compared to other notorious fallen beings like Lucifer or Azazel, Mestima stands out for his unique role as an accuser, the one who actively works to oppose divine order and lead humanity astray. His dark legacy is one of subtle manipulation, using temptation and corruption to achieve his goals, making him one of the most insidious and destructive figures in angelic lore. Semyaza, a name that echoes through the annals of forbidden knowledge and angelic rebellion, was once one of the most revered angels in the heavenly realm. Known by various titles across religious texts, he is primarily recognized as the leader of the fallen angels, or watchers in the ancient book of Enoch. According to apocryphal traditions, Semyaza was not just an ordinary angel, but a celestial being of great power, charged with watching over the earth and its inhabitants. But Semyaza's origins are far from divine. Created as part of the heavenly order, his purpose was to guide and protect mankind. Yet, over time, a deep dissatisfaction with this role grew within him. Driven by ambition and a desire for more, he led a rebellion against the Creator. The Watchers, a group of angels under his command, descended to earth, defying God's command and taking human wives, leading to the creation of the Nephilim, the giants. This act, considered one of the most grievous in heavenly history, was the catalyst for Semyaza's downfall. His rebellion brought about the corruption of humanity and the earth itself. Not only did Semyaza corrupt mankind with forbidden knowledge, teaching them sorcery and the secrets of the heavens, but his actions also led to a great flood, purging the world of the Nephilim and those who followed his corrupt path. His punishment was severe. God's judgment bound Semyaza and the other rebellious angels in chains, cast into the abyss, awaiting eternal judgment. Symbolically, Semyaza represents the dangers of pride and the lust for power. His fall mirrors the tragic consequences of defying divine order. In spiritual traditions, he is often associated with the darker side of knowledge. Those secrets that, when misused, bring destruction and chaos. The impact of Semyaza on humanity cannot be understated. Through his rebellion, he introduced humanity to forbidden knowledge. Knowledge that has shaped occult practices and dark traditions throughout history. His legacy is one of deception, temptation, and the corrupting influence of power. And though he is imprisoned in the abyss, his story serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the consequences of straying from divine guidance. Semyaza's name is etched into the shadows of history, standing as one of the most notorious fallen angels in both biblical and apocryphal literature. His tale, woven into the fabric of rebellion and corruption, continues to captivate the minds of those who seek to understand the hidden forces that shape our world. The Nephilim, a notorious group of angels whose actions sparked one of the most mysterious and unsettling chapters in biblical and apocryphal texts. These angels were not simply messengers of light. They were powerful beings who defied the very laws of heaven. The Nephilim's origins are shrouded in mystery, with their story primarily found in the book of Genesis and the apocryphal book of Enoch. According to these texts, the Nephilim were the offspring of the sons of God and the daughters of men, a divine race of angels and mortal women. Their creation was an unnatural union, a crossing of boundaries meant only for the divine. Their actions were as catastrophic as their origins. The Nephilim, with their immense size and power, brought chaos to the earth, creating a violent and corrupted world. These beings were said to be giants, and their presence caused great corruption, their influence spreading sin and destruction. Their very existence was a rebellion against God's natural order, leading to their downfall. The reason for their fall was their disobedience to God's commandments. In the book of Enoch, the Nephilim's fathers, the Watchers, are condemned for descending to earth and taking human wives, an act that not only corrupted humanity but also led to the creation of the Nephilim. As a result of this sin, God ordered their judgment. He sent the flood to cleanse the earth, sparing only Noah and his family. The Nephilim were destroyed, their corrupted legacy wiped away in the floodwaters. The Nephilim possessed abilities beyond human comprehension. Their size, strength, and wisdom made them formidable, but these gifts were used for evil purposes. They were known for leading humanity astray, teaching forbidden knowledge such as the art of war, astrology, and sorcery. Their influence led to the corruption of the earth, setting the stage for an era of violence and sin. Their presence is often symbolized by the giants they fathered and the chaos they wrought. In spiritual and occult traditions, the Nephilim have come to represent the dangers of forbidden knowledge and the consequences of defying divine laws. Their actions serve as a warning about the perilous consequences of crossing boundaries meant to remain sacred. Their legacy on humanity is profound. The Nephilim's impact can still be felt today, through the persistent allure of forbidden knowledge and the ongoing temptation to defy natural and divine laws. Their story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of hubris and the pursuit of power at any cost. In the end, their fate was sealed by divine judgment. The flood wiped away their influence, but the story of their sin remains a powerful symbol in both biblical and apocryphal traditions. The Nephilim are often compared to other notorious fallen angels, such as Lucifer, whose pride led to rebellion and a catastrophic fall. However, the Nephilim's unique transgression, Their direct interference with human life and creation sets them apart as one of the most unsettling figures in biblical lore. Their legacy is a reminder of the dangers of defiance and the consequences of tampering with the natural order. Lilith, a name that echoes through ancient texts, a figure shrouded in mystery and darkness. Known by many but understood by few, Lilith's story is one of rebellion, defiance, and the quest for freedom, no matter the cost. Her origins are not found in the Bible but in apocryphal and mystical traditions. In ancient Hebrew texts, Lilith is said to have been created as the first wife of Adam, not from his rib, but from the same earth as he, an equal. But it was in her refusal to submit to Adam that she became notorious. She rebelled against the natural order, insisting on equality. This defiance led to her departure from Eden, and her transformation into a dark, demonic figure in the eyes of many. Lilith's fall wasn't a simple act of disobedience. It was the beginning of her transformation into the queen of demons. As she left Eden, she entered the wilderness, where she became the mother of countless demonic offspring. Spirits who haunt the night, seduce men, and destroy children. But her rebellion didn't end there. In various traditions, she is known for her powers of seduction and manipulation. Her beauty is said to be irresistible, her voice enchanting, yet her soul is tainted with vengeance and wrath. Lilith is often depicted as a winged, serpent-like demon, her very presence a symbol of chaos and destruction. Her impact on humanity is profound. In occult and spiritual traditions, she represents the dark feminine energy, the force of independence and chaos. She is associated with the temptations of the flesh, the manipulation of human desires, and the distortion of natural order. Lilith is said to influence the darkest aspects of human behavior, leading individuals into temptation, rebellion, and moral corruption. Despite her power, Lilith's fate is one of eternal exile. In some texts, she is cursed to wander the earth, causing chaos and suffering. Some traditions suggest she is bound, forever punished for her defiance, but others believe she continues to roam, seeking to corrupt and destroy. Compared to other fallen beings, Lilith's story stands out for her independence and defiance. While figures like Lucifer sought power and dominion, Lilith's rebellion was about equality, autonomy, and her refusal to bow to patriarchal order. She is the embodiment of the spirit of rebellion, both alluring and terrifying. Lilith's tale is one of complexity, an angel cast out not for a desire for power, but for a pursuit of freedom, however destructive it may have been. She remains one of the most enigmatic and feared figures in the annals of spiritual history, a constant reminder of the fine line between defiance and damnation. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe for more videos.